Good evening. It is time for science, grade 4. Welcome, all of you boys and girls. Today we are going to talk about water pollution. Before I divide what is water pollution, when you are in grade 3, you were taught about sources of water. Sources of water, it simply means where do we get water from? We get water from rivers, seas, lakes, oceans, and many other. Then you are taught about uses of water. When you talked about uses of water at home, uses of water at home is also known as domestic use of water. And domestic use of water, it is cooking, washing, uh, cleaning the house, flushing the toilet, to mention but a few. Then you talked about uses of water at the farm. Uses of water at the farm, it is used to keep aquatic animals like ducks and fish. Also, in the farm, water is used to mix chemicals which are used to spray animals and crops. Then we have what we call recreation. What is recreation? Recreation is the use of water for enjoyment. Example, we have what we call swimming, boat racing, boat riding, seeking, and serving. Then we have use of water in transportation, that is the movement of people and the goods from one place to another, using things like ship, ferries, and canoes. Then we have uses of water in the industry or factory. In the industry, water is used for general cleanliness, making fountains. Fountains, they make a place to look more beautiful. Water is used to make soft drinks like soda and juices. Water is used to cool machines. Water is also used in washing bottles. Then you talked about storage of water. Why is it important? Why is it necessary that we have to store water? We store water so that we can use it when it is scarce, when it is not enough, when it is insufficient. So storage of water is stored in dams, tanks, basins, buckets, and many other things. Now back to today's lesson, water pollution. What is water pollution? Water pollution simply means is the contamination of water bodies, usually as a result of human activities. Water bodies includes lakes, rivers, oceans, and groundwater. When does water become polluted, or when does water pollution occurs? Water pollution occurs when pollutants reach the water bodies without treatment. Water pollutants in our environment, they include radioactive substances, marine dumping, river dumping, oil pollution, whereby we have those big vehicles, tankers transporting oil, when to overturn or from a road accident. Then we have service runoff to water bodies, agricultural production or pollution. Agricultural pollution, it includes when farmers are applying fertilizers, insecticides, and pesticides. Then we have sewage, also called wastewater. from domestic and industrial processes. Then we have what we call effects of water pollution on living things. Effect pollution of pollution on living things. These are the problems caused by as a result of water pollution. Number one, it kills organisms that depend on water. For instance, we have fish, crabs, birds, seagulls, and dolphins. These are some of the aquatic animals which their life entirely they depend on water. So if water is polluted, they are badly affected. Then plants, when they are observing water from the soil through the roots, they end up drying up. Human beings, when when they drink contaminated water, they vomit. Lastly, we want to look on ways of reducing pollution. Number one, do not boil fats from cooking or any other type of fat, oil, or grease down the sink. After you have taken your food, the utensils are going to be washed at the sink. Make sure you bake the fats. You don't boil it through the sinks because it is going all the way to water bodies to contaminate. Two, human beings, we are advised to use toilets for short call and long call. We are not, nobody's allowed to use bushes and tickets to pass out the feces or urine. That one pollutes. Three, on how to reduce pollution, avoid using garbage disposal, keep solid wastes, or you can make a compost pile from vegetable scraps. Fourth, do not flush pills, liquids, or powders. That is powder medications or drugs down the toilet. This one also will end up in water bodies, and then to reduce, we are advised not to flush. Fifth, do not dispose of household chemicals or cleaning agents down the sink or the toilet. Lastly, do not boil fats from cooking or any other type of fat, oil, or grease down the sink. That one brings us to the end of our discussion about water pollution. Thanks for listening. I will send the lesson notes to your WhatsApp group for your class. Make sure you read, you reflect what you have read. By so doing, the message will be automatically stored in the subconscious part of the brain for further transmission to examination papers. We meet inshallah within the course of the week for another lesson. Thank you very much for your time.